Welcome to Geo-Designer. Geo-Designer is a powerful upfront analysis software, special focus on design for manufacture. Geo-Design can support the OEM vendor for product design and manufacturing supplier for mold design. During the manufacturing chain, the marketing department of supply can use it to make part evaluation and quotation, and the tooling department can use it to support mold design and manufacturing. Geo-Designer was developed by C3P Software International. The first information we will bring to you is the service field and the main application of Geo-Designer. The mass distribution analysis is one of the major fields, such as mass distribution, wall thickness, and weight optimization. Such information is not only used in part design, but also applied to various industry segments for the manufacturing process. For example, the cooling rate evaluation for metal casting and plastic ejection, the riser and feeder design in the casting process. Another major application field of Geo-Designer is the geometry feature checking. It is very important for product design and manufacturing process, such as thickness, draft angle, and the fillet radius. As a DFM software, Geo-Designer could be used in the OEM vendor and the different level suppliers, both design and manufacturing department. In the OEM company, Geo-Design can help the design engineer make a better design to reduce the cost, not only of material, but also of the manufacturing process. In the supply company, at first, Geo-Designer can bring benefit to the marketing department. Since it is so fast and easy to use, the marketing engineer can make a quick analysis of the new part before get the business, and make a more reasonable evaluation of the part difficult level, then provide a more accurate quotation. Benefits for mold designer are more clear. Geo-Designer can make a detailed analysis of the part geometry before mold design. The information such as mass, surface area, project area, critical thickness, and information of mass distribution index can guide the mold design directly. Also, any revised comments can be sent to the part designer at a very early stage. The advantage of Geo-Designer is not only the functions, but also the quickly result and simple operation, 3 clicks, 3D part as a start point, and 3 minutes to get results. Now, we have a general overview of Geo-Designer. At first, Geo-Designer is a design for manufacturing tools, for designers and manufacturing engineers, to study the problems at a very early stage. This is what we are said, the upfront technology. The second, with Geo-Designer, the design process and quality could be faster and better, whatever for functions, manufacturability, or move from design to production. And Geo-Designer offer a new method to study the part geometry. The result could be displayed in 3D easel surface, flexible transparently. This is exactly like the looking of X-ray and CT method. The analysis result of Geo-Designer was very rich compared with any CAD system, such as product thickness, mass distribution, draft or undercut angles, fillet radius and more. We have introduced the mass distribution index, we called MDI, to industry. This is a very important concept in the design. We still spend one page to introduce the concept of DFM. For example, you have a 3D casting part, which designed by functional requirements and designer's experience. Then we send such part to the supplier for casting mold and production. This is the general design and the manufacturing process. The problem is, when we can find the problems, we only can get it from the final casting part of X-ray method, such as the picture on the right. We found there are lots of shrinkage porosities at the heavy mass distribution region. Unfortunately, These defects will bring a big affection of the part quality, as the automotive product standard. It is clear, how to solve the porosities is linked to the geometry closely. It is not only the matters of the manufacturing process, but also the design process. For a bad design, if we only solve it in the manufacturing process, even if it is possible, the cost should be very expensive. So our target is making the product design better to fulfill the manufacturing process. Geo-Designer is just a tool to solve the DFM problem for both OEM company and supply company, or the design and manufacturing process. The workflow of Geo-Design is very simple. 3 clicks to finish a basic analysis. At first, we load in the 3D CAD model. The data format could be STL file, or STEP, or a GES file. This is the first click. The second click is Build Geo-Designer Model. In fact, Geo-Designer Model is a mesh model with parameters. The model generation is fully automatic. The system can check the input data, and repair it if necessary, then generate an analysis mesh, and calculate the mass, surface, thickness, MDI value and more. The user can adjust the model size to fulfill the geometry. A major breakthrough of Geo-Designer is it can support the huge model, and still with a good performance. The last click is checking the result. Geo-Designer is using filter technology to extract the result for visual analysis. The displayed result is Mass Distribution Index, or MDI we called. The MDI provide a very clear mass distribution, not only the location, but also the value and mass volume. Compared with the actual result, we can find it is exactly the regions, with shrinkage porosity. If you have questions about the accuracy of such analysis, this page can provide the answer. The left image is the X-ray result. Each small image near the part feature shows the detail shrinkage porosity. You can find effects if you can look carefully. The right one is the MDI result, predicted by Geo-Designer. Even if a rough looking, you can find that all thicker region could be predicted well by Geo-Designer. And the higher MDI value is the reason to cause shrinkage porosity in such region. Beside the mass distribution analysis, Geo-Designer also can analyze the draft angle and the fillet radius. Draft angle is also important for mold design, special for stamping part, plastic ejection and casting process. Draft is the amount of taper, or slope given to cores, or other parts of the die cavity, to permit easy ejection of the part from the die. Draft angle checking also can get useful information for parting surface design. Geo-Designer with a built-in precision mesh generator, it can provide a flexible method to check the draft angle, such as the zone checking and detail angle value checking. The fillet radius is another important design guide for product and manufacturing design. The fillet radius will affect the part assembly, lifetime and manufacture process. It is especially useful for sheet metal forming, casting and plastic ejection process. A fillet is the curved juncture of two surfaces that would otherwise meet at a sharp corner or edge. Geo-Designer can provide detailed fillet radius of the part and display it. We also support the filter method to view to result in the concerned range. Let's make a summarization of the main features of Geo-Designer. At first, Geo-Designer is a standalone software with last CAE technology for upfront analysis. Geo-Designer is also possible to build in a 3D CAD system, but need the edition license. The second, Geo-Designer can check the detail information apart, like mass, volume, mass distribution, wall thickness, MDI, draft angle, undercut, fillet radius and many other information, for the design and manufacturing process. Such information is difficult, or impossible for the CAD-based software. The third, the operation of Geo-Design is very simple, but Geo-Design is powerful. It can support 3D easel surface, and multi-sections mode. The information obtained by Geo-Designer could be used for manufacturing process design directly, such as the riser and runner design, chill and cooling system design, also the rib design. The build and design capability, also possible in the last version of Geo-Designer. With this function, the user can make design online, and check it immediately. The moreover, Geo-Designer support mesh-level geometry Boolean operation, such as design fuse and subtract. This makes the design more flexible, and very funny. It is unique. Geo-Design can import STL, IGES, step file directly. Also the online design result could be exported to 3D CAD system for future use. The support language of Geo-Design includes English, Japanese and Chinese. Another concern of Geo-Designer is how easy to use, how long time for the learning curve. We are pleased to tell you, Geo-Designer is very easy to learn and use. For self-learning, as the training documents in the software package, the user only needs a half hour to master it. You also can ask for a web training course from C3P Software or the nearest sales channels. Even if a user without any CAD, CAE knowledge and background, who is still possible to master it within half hour. As said before, only 3 clicks and 3 to 5 minutes to get the first results in Geo-Designer. For some complex geometry, Geo-Design can provide a more accurate result when selected a big model size, but the performance is still good enough, even if a huge model is used. Let's have a look at the industry requirement of geometry analysis. On the product design stage, the designer need take care of the functions, strength and lifetime, so functions related to wall thickness, heat transfer and weight reduction are the first considering. For plastic mold, to avoid defects in the manufacturing process, uniform thickness is the best, and variable thickness design should be validated. Many defects are caused by mass distribution, so geometry checking is very important. For casting mold, mass distribution and thickness are the major concern. Many defects were caused by mass distribution, such as shrinkage porosity. To avoid that, riser, feeder and gadding system, cooling system could be used to compensate it.